Hello everyone. Welcome to Building Products with AI Day 2. And before I start, I just wanted to quickly acknowledge the session that we had yesterday. It was a fantastic one. And thanks to everyone that joined. Thanks to our facilitator. We really appreciate you all making our time to join the session. And we've been seeing some of y'all's posts on LinkedIn, Instagram, about what you were able to build. Shout out to Ali Usman for tagging us as well, and shout out to our facilitator, of course, for leading such a wonderful session on how you could possibly build a web app using Google Gemini and Google anti-gravity. And I'm pretty sure that we'll be uploading the session on YouTube soon. So if you wanna just go over it once again and try to reproduce what we built yesterday, you're welcome to. If you were here yesterday, please use the can we get some reaction if you were here yesterday, just to see if we have some repeat attendance. Great. It's lovely to see you all once again. And so I wouldn't want to bore you guys also with some of the content I was shared yesterday about Design IT Africa, but just know that some people are joining for the very first time today, and we're having this part about Design IT Africa once again, just let them know about who we are as an organization and what we do. So Design IT Africa is a tech agency that seeks to equip young people with the necessary tech skills to thrive in the 21st century. And we were founded in 2018, and myself, Ali Ajagbe, has been opportune to lead the operations at Design IT Africa since inception. We are building a community of designers, developers, and creators across Africa who are passionate about solving real problems with technology. So that's why we have a range of activities in our action plan, ranging from tech events like this one that we're currently attending, tech awareness tours that we call Tech at All, where we basically go to different marginalized communities to expose the young people in secondary schools to the different opportunities in the tech industry. And then lastly, we have the Design IT Africa Scholars Program, which we call DASP, which is essentially a 2-month long intensive training on graphic design, digital marketing, and coding, essentially programming to basically coupled with leadership skills so that they could utilize the tech skills for community development. So if you want to learn more about Design IT Africa, feel free to visit our website. I'll put the link on the chat. You can partner with us. You can be recruited as a scholar itself. And there are different ways by which you can get involved with my operations, and we more than happy to collaborate with you. So just as we had okay, just as we had yesterday, participation plus giveaway. So during and after the session, please share key insights, screenshots, or progress if you're following, and post on Twitter, LinkedIn, or Instagram, and then tag us at Design IT Africa and use the hashtag Building Product with AI, because we'll be randomly selecting people to send some prizes, and want to see as many people participate in this, just so to show the world out there that we are actually being intentional with the kind of activities that we have at Design IT Africa. And of course, very importantly, we want you all on this call to learn, participate, ask questions, and have fun, because because I think the facilitators have also prepared their content in such a manner that you are able to do all of this without any significant hiccups. Right. So today we have Fatima, and I'll give a quick introduction of Fatima before I pass on the baton to her. So Fatima Ismaila is an IT administrator with a background in networking, DevOps, and UX research. Focused on the intersection of design thinking and digital transformation, she explores how agentic AI can reshape automated workflows. With a background in technical problem solving and a deep interest in cloud services, She's dedicated to building intelligent, user-centric systems that drive innovation within the evolving AI landscape. Outside of tech, she's an avid reader and animation enthusiast who enjoys the creative challenge of building complex Lego sets, fueling her passion for structured design and visual storytelling. Everyone, please let's use our reactions to welcome Fatima before she leads us in this session. You can also use the chat to show how excited you are.
Thank you so much for that intro, Ali. Hi everyone, my name is Fatima, and I'm looking forward for us to have a wonderful and rewarding session today. Okay?
Yeah. Okay, I'll stop sharing my screen just so that you can go ahead and yeah, we're excited to have you, Fatima. Someone has their hand raised. Okay, yeah. All right, Fatima.
Okay, so first of all, welcome again. For those who are new today, thank you very much for joining. For those who joined yesterday and are back again today, we're really grateful that you could be with us today. As Ali said, my name is Fatima, and I'll be taking you through AI agents today. So I'm pretty sure everybody already knows what ChatGPT is. Everybody already knows the different platforms and whatnot. ChatGPT has, and generally AI, has become a normal part of our lives at this point. But as of 2020, in the little crevices or the little small groups and circles, people started talking about AI agents, whispering about it, talking about it, imagining how AI could be more than just a chatbot you chat with and ask questions. And especially this year, thanks to the work of people at places like Anthropic, Gemini, Microsoft, AI agents has now become something that is pretty much in vogue. Everybody is talking about it, everybody is going crazy about it, people are building and whatnot. So today, the whole aim is to introduce you to what AI agents are. We're going to also look at what they are, what their benefits are, use cases, examples of platforms that currently offer it. And the takeaway here is for you to have a bare minimum stripped down AI agent that you can now go and personalize yourself. I'm going to show you how to build or create like just a simple one. Then we at Design Out Africa would love to see, how you can get creative with it, how you can put your own spin on it, how you can, just make it yours. So we will be making use of different kind of tools today. Generally, this is supposed to be a build session in that sense that, you can build along with whatever I am doing. And that is highly welcome. However, due to the fact that the particular platform we're using takes a little bit long to install, it would, if you, for some any reason, lag behind, it's perfectly fine. I will be sharing a link to this drive that contains all the information you need about everything we will do today. So let me even drop that in the chat. So, and as Ali said, this session is going to be recorded on YouTube, so you can always go back and watch it. So, if you need to follow along, that also contains the slides that we are using today. So, let's get started, shall we? AI agent platforms, building automated solutions. Right. So, what are AI agents? Let's make this a tad bit bigger so everyone can see. Basically, the normal AIs we have are more chat and responsive. You type your question or what you need, and then they just give you a response. Most of them are what we call RAG. RAG stands for, okay, rather than saying the actual words, it's better to explain what it means. Basically, they retrieve information based on the data sets they have. It's called retriever augmented generation. They basically um, go to their training sets or data sets they have access to, then give response to um, your question and answer. But the difference between that and AI agents is AI agents are capable of decision making. They can actually take action for you. They can actually process information and then act based on that towards a goal. There are different types. You have the ones that are reactive. Something must happen for them to respond. Maybe, for example, you could have someone must drop a particular chat in a group. Someone must say, I'm hungry, and then the bot will now come online and suggest stop. That is reactive. Proactive, it does something before it is prompted to, or that is the design. It does something before it needs to or is prompted to. Then autonomy, it does it by itself. It's just running based on whatever parameters it is given. So it's usually, obviously it's called AI agents. It's usually integrated with usual AI models in order to give it a sort of intelligent thinking capability, which makes the entire workflow and system dynamic in response and how it generally operates. So again, there are different types: reactive, deliberate, hybrid. And basically, it now depends on what you are trying to achieve and how you are trying to achieve it. So one of the biggest use cases for AI agents today is in business operations. I was opportune to be on a call with someone earlier this year, and the person is in the US, and she had an issue with an iPhone that she had. She just got it, and she picks up her phone, calls iPhone customer support, and it's an AI that answers her completely from beginning to end. She doesn't speak to a human. She tells the AI her name and her phone number, and the AI goes into their records, checks, okay, when she bought her phone, what the issue is, and even suggests possible solutions to what she's having, the issues she's having, and tells her da da da, and then also suggests, okay, would you like to speak to a customer care representative? But by the end of the call, she's already achieved everything she wanted to, so she didn't need to speak to an actual human being. The point is, it makes things easier. It allows for 24/7 availability. Human needs sleep, obviously. AI does not. Robots do not. Generally, AI agents do not. So it's not to replace you in that sense. A lot of people are like, yeah, it's replacing. I prefer to look at it as enhancing instead of replacing. You should, in every aspect, regardless of whatever aspect you're currently dealing with in life, AI will definitely have a use case for you that can generally make things better. Which is why I'm saying, what I'm hoping is when we do our demo and everything, what you take away from this is how you can make what the workflow that we do here and customize it to suit whatever niche you have. I'd love to see that on social media, so please tag us if you are able to do it. So other things you can do with AI agents, apart from customer service, are content creation. You could set up a pipeline. In fact, there is one that I'm going to show you just in a couple of minutes for social media creation, to create content, to manage social media posts. You can automate your posting and scheduling and your campaigns. You can do data analysis by pulling trends, pulling reports, doing investigative research that allows you to make data-driven decisions. This is also especially useful in business operations. So even in IT operations, if you're in the field of IT, when it comes to code, yesterday we had a session with Bukola, which was awesome, and you saw how AI just makes it easier in building products. So you could even have AI agents that manage the life cycle of your products for you. reducing, even doing bug hunting for you, doing system monitoring, and all that. So generally, it excels at repetitive tasks, complex decision making, and it gives consistent performance in different scenarios. So now we are this session is supposed to be mainly a no programming session or basically, I want to explain why we are using the exact tool we are using and what other options are available. These are the four major widespread options. If you know any, that are not listed, feel free to drop it in the chat. But these are some of the four that are widely listed, widely used, and really make it easier or easy on you as a person just trying to do AI agents and you don't know anything about it. So the particular tool we will be using today is called n8n. I just want to quickly show you how the rest of them work and how they are. So I'm going to start with MX365 Copilot. So MX365 Copilot is Microsoft's AI system, just like ChatGPT and whatnot. But they have a very interesting feature where you can create an AI agent that just does that. So this is Microsoft 365 Copilot. To create a new agent is relatively simple. You just go there, you start either editing it, and you give it instructions, give it a data source and whatnot. Again, we're not dealing with Microsoft 365 Copilot today. I just wanted to show you how it looks like. So that's Microsoft 365 Copilot. Now let's go to the next one that I want to talk about, Zapier. Zapier is usually enterprise, is more like used in enterprise scenarios or in businesses. It's basically connects dozens and thousands of applications. I'm sure a lot of people on this channel already have either heard of Zapier or they've used it before one way or another. Over 8,000 apps, and you can see popular and very important companies make use of Zapier. So you have AI workflows where you can literally see right here how they are building workflows, and even under AI agents, you tell the agent what you want it to do, whatnot. So there are different things you can do in order to get AI automation. So that's Zapier. Again, we're not dealing with Zapier today. So on a more easy side is Relay. Relay is anyone you don't like coding, Relay is for you. You just want something that can do tasks for you, Relay is for you. Relay is pretty easy to use. It's just you build an AI team, you connect different applications together, LinkedIn, YouTube, whatnot, and you can build your own AI agents. Fun fact, as a bonus for anyone who is currently attending this session, there are two pre-built Relay templates that I have put down inside the slides. One is a business idea template that basically finds newsletter emails, scripts for you, and gives structures, and then deposits it in a Notion for you. So that is inside the PowerPoint. You have the link to it under free resources. So anyone that's attended, I'll be happy to give that to you. So the second one is daily business idea. It's basically posts on LinkedIn for you every day at 9 a.m. It scripts, from the Notion, generates a LinkedIn post, asks you to approve it in Slack, and then publish it to LinkedIn. You can always, edit this or fine tune it to suit whatever you need. If you want to post on Twitter, either you want to post on Facebook, as you want. So that is also there for you. So again, Relay is not what we're talking about today, but you have access to that. So another one that is also there is Google's Opal. Opal is more goal oriented, in the sense that it's more of what you're trying to use it for rather than the agent itself. So they already have some defaults they've built. You have a book recommendation agent, a game concept builder, a Google Calendar link, co-thinker, fashion stylist, blah, blah, blah. So you can also use that as you like. So that is Google Opal. Now, Make is another fun one. I have had the opportunity of using Make before. In fact, it was one of a close friend that actually introduced me to Make, Khalifa. And Make, it's basically, it has a kind of drag and drop interface, although it does have like credit limits, which is one of the reasons why we're not using it today. Instead, we're making use of n8n. It does have credit limits, but it allows you to join different apps together in order to carry out integration. So you can also still build your AI agents right inside here. So you can see, you can use it for IT, operations, marketing, sales, and whatnot. So now let's go to actually what we want to do today, which is n8n. n8n is AI agents, workflows you can see and control. Right, there is the community version, the free version, which you can host locally on your system, and then there's also the enterprise version for companies and whatnot. So back to where we were. Today we're going to be building a very simple AI agent with n8n. Like I said, I'm going to be giving you the basics that's connected together, and I look forward to seeing how you can either customize it to suit what your needs are. So we are going to create a productivity agent that basically every morning to give you briefings. It will check your calendar, check your email, check the latest news in the particular field you are interested in, and then deposit everything to you in a Discord channel of your choice. So this, by the way, is a zero cost automation. In other words, I basically chose this to be as free as possible. Little to no cost, to ensure that everybody can do it, everybody can try it, and you're not limited by payments or whatnot. So for technical setup, you need stuff like Node.js, Google Cloud Console, Gemini Calendar APIs. Yes, you can get the slides. Sorry, can someone please redrop the link to the drive for her? Thank you. So this is a 7-node workflow architecture with different data streams coming from calendar, Gmail, thank you so much, Ali, and RSPs, and then it will be merged into an AI processing node, which will be powered by Gemini, and then it will now do Discord delivery. So how do we get started? Like I said, we need Node.js first. So we're going to install n8n with Node.js, that's npm. And like I said, it does take a little bit long for n8n to install, which is why I already have it pre-installed. However, if you are just installing it for the first time, I have the video installation guides showing how I installed it to walk you through, because I know some people might prefer to see it. So recorded here is how to download the Node.js. You download Node.js first, and then you install Node.js. You confirm Node.js is installed, and then you install n8n with it. Then it's also, I have links inside the slides to make it easier for you. You have a link that will take you to ChatGPT that explains in full how the entire installation process goes for those of you that need a sort of guide to follow. So this is here, it's inside the slides. It explains the common pitfalls, things that could go wrong in your installation process. Whether you're using Windows, Mac OS, or Linux, I've made provisions for that, so it's easy for you to just go ahead. Just find, the type of system you're using, whether it's Linux, Mac, or whatever, and then install. So if you are intending to follow along, this will be a good time for you to get started. You just access the drive, access the slides, and you can go ahead. So you need to install Node.js first and n8n. Now, the accounts you need are Google Cloud Console, Google AI Studio, and a Discord account. All of these are absolutely free to create. You don't really require payments for any of them. So that is excellent. Now, for installing n8n, which is after the Node.js, you will install it using npm install -g n8n. If you check the video in the drive, you will see the process of how to do so. And as well, if you click here, you'll have the ChatGPT link that will explain it, as well as the documents from n8n themselves that explain the procedure for installing it. Please go with install npm globally, not with npx. So it's very simple. You go with the first one, slide unavailable within shared. It only goes to n8n. And okay, hold on. Let me see. Yeah, anyone with the link? Oh, yes. It goes to this folder. This is the slide. n8n AI agent. Inside that folder, this is the slide. So, now that we've established and talked about the installation, yeah, also.
Yeah. So it's actually like this is a Google Doc link actually, like n8n configuration and setup. So you might wanna actually like reshare the.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me try it now. Oh, configuration. Okay. Could you please check where that goes to? Is that the right one now? I'm really sorry.
Yeah, this is the right one. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm sorry, guys.
It's cool. I should have checked as well. Yeah.
No problem. So now we're going to start. Thank you, Samuel. So we're going to start. I'm going to go to my command line in order to work with n8n. Right. So there are two things. You can run n8n on the cloud, or you can run it locally. When you are not enterprise, or you are just playing around with it, I would advise you to do it locally. It makes things easier. Although when you are dealing with APIs from like Google and whatnot, you have to do it in testing mode. If you are not familiar with what that means, don't worry, we'll get there shortly, and it will become a bit clearer. So in order to work with n8n, yes, Chidera, please go ahead. Yes. Okay. So in order to work with n8n, we just.
Lakon has his hand raised.
Okay.
If you want to take questions like live. Okay. No questions, I guess.
Okay, so no questions. Good.
He has his hands raised.
You can go ahead. You can unmute and just ask.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Please, I wanted to ask if you can get a record of this class after.
Yes, definitely. There will be a record that will be uploaded on YouTube.
All right. Thank you.
Yes, no problem. So to start the process, again, I have n8n already installed. So we're just going to click n8n start, and that would automatically load the locally hosted n8n that I have on my PC. So initializing. Yes, while it is doing that, I'd also like to point out that when you first install n8n for the first time, you will get a sort of prompt. What you see when it opens for the first time, you have to create an account, right? So which I did, and then it will ask you some questions. What best describes your company? What is your role? This is just what I answered. You are free to answer anything you want. The reason I'm showing this is because since I have already created an account before, it's not going to ask me these questions. So if you get these, just know that it's normal and you answer accordingly. Right. So it runs in browser, and I want to open that, so I'm just going to go O. Right, so this is how n8n looks on browser. Let that just load. And it basically uses host port 56. Yes. Please go ahead.
Sorry, it was a mistake.
Okay, sure, no problem. Okay, so oh no. That's not what I wanted to do. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to create a new workflow, right? You have some workflows. Yours could look a bit different, and that is honestly fine. So here's what we're going to do. I just want to quickly do this. Duplicate help, and then go back. This is not part of the process. I'm just trying to do something. Okay, so now if you're following along, that's excellent. If not, this is how you begin. You create a workflow. You have a blank space. So n8n gives you a blank workspace to start with. Now, the good part about n8n is basically a drag and drop procedure, in the sense that you pick the nodes you want and you just put it on the canvas. So initially, when I first started this workflow, it was supposed to be a trigger workflow. Every morning at 7 a.m., it checks my calendar, it checks my email, it checks the news headlines, and then tells me in Discord. But for the sake of this particular class, we're going to do it on execute, not on trigger, because it will be inconvenient to set time now. So we're just going to say, okay, when we say run, it should run. So this is how the n8n workspace looks like. And you just, like I said, add nodes to the workspace. So the very first thing we're going to add is a trigger manual, which is basically when we click execute workflow, the workflow should start. It basically tells us, okay, this is how the workflow starts. So let's come back here quickly. This is what we are aiming for, by the way. This is how we want it to look like. This is the agent's flow. And these are the basic configurations for each node. That's why that document is here. So now let's go back and start. So the first one, as you can see here, is schedule trigger. This is the entire settings and value. I already wrote it down, although I'll explain each one. I already wrote it down in case you missed it, or you want to go back to it. So each node and the settings are very written down. So let's go back. So this schedule trigger is for the timing. That's if you want to set it at 7 o'clock, which is why you have trigger at hour 7. But what we are doing now is a manual execute workflow. So we're going to leave that node 1 as it is. There's no need to edit anything. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add Google Calendar, because I want it to take my calendar events. So you have different options. Are you getting availability? Let's say you want it to automatically check whether you are available or not your calendar. You want to create an event. You want to delete an event. You want to get many events. Get many events is what we are doing, because what I want it to do is check if what I have for the day or what I'm doing that day. So that's the first thing we're working on. Calendar. We're going to add the next one, which is email. So we just drag Gmail to. So you have, again, what do you want the node to do? Are you creating messages, sending messages, replying messages automatically? Obviously, you have different options. It's whatever you want. But I just wanted to check what my mails that they are. So we add that too. So now this is added wrongly, because I don't need it to connect to calendar. I need it to connect to this, the execute workflow, because it's supposed to do the 3 at the same time. Get my calendar events, get my email, and also check the headlines. Now for headlines, because of the nature of how data pooling works, we're going to use an RSS read. I will add a URL to it. So again, this is wrong. It's supposed to come from the execute. So now let's just take a quick step back and look at everything. So you see, one, on execution, it should do calendar, it should do email, it should get headlines, right? Good. So now here's the thing. We have to add one special node here. This is the part that I said there's a little bit of code. the reason why we're adding this this code here is because the calendar node in n8n is a little bit wonky. We will get into it and I'll explain, but normally you're supposed to set the time of how you want it to pull, blah, 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 and whatnot. But due to certain slight configuration issues, it tends to act a bit funky. So for this particular demo, we're going to add a code to offset that. You personally can do research or set it as you like, but what I am going to do here is just add a small code to offset that. So it says run custom JavaScript in Python. We're going to choose JavaScript. For now, we're not editing that, so that's our code. Now, here's the thing. We need to feed all this, not separately, but together as one into our AI. So, because we can't just drag it anyhow, so we need to feed everything as one package into our AI. So what we're going to add next is a merge node to merge multiple data streams into one. So I'm just going to put that down. So instead of 2 inputs, we actually need 3 inputs. So let's edit that quickly. We double tap and change number of inputs to 3. And then we go back. Sorry if I'm being a bit fast. Kind of running because of time. So RS, we also connect that. So now everything is connected into our merge. The next code we need to add is a JavaScript. Why? Because of how these are coming out. They're coming out as JSON formats, right? For those who don't understand JSON format is just one of the popular way for request and response in applications, websites, or not. I'm simplifying it just so everybody can easily understand. When you are dealing with applications, applications work by having a sort of request and response that allows the applications to work easily. Whenever you do something on an application, it's more of you are indirectly making a request. For example, if you type on Amazon or Jumia bags, you are making a request. It's how the response comes back and shows you different bags and whatnot is a response. So most applications communicate in JSON. So the outputs for the events, the email, and the headlines are coming back in JSON. So that's one of the reasons why we have a merge node. But even as it's merged, the JSON format will still be separate, which is why we have to add one more code node again to combine it into one go. So again, we'll do another code in JavaScript and put that there. So now the next part that we need to add is our AI agent. So in n8n, you are opportune to have access to so many different models. You have models from Anthropic, which are your Opus, your Sonnet, and whatnot. You have from Gemini, Google Gemini, Olama, OpenAI, and different type of nodes based on what you are trying to do. Then you can also set guardrails, which are security to protect your AI models. So here we are going to choose AI agents, right? Because this is going to be our brain box of our entire workflow. It's going to be what will allow this entire process to respond dynamically and think dynamically. So we need to choose a chat model. I have decided to go with Google Gemini. You can see you have so many different ones you can take. You have Bastion, Anthropic, Azure, OpenAI chat model, AWS Bedrock, DeepSeek is there too. Grok, which is a nice option for those that are either locally hosting or going free. Olama too, but we are going with Gemini. So for now, we're just going to not configure that. So Gemini. And then the last node we need to put is our Discord. Now, you can either use Telegram or Discord because they allow you to easily create bots. But for this particular session, we are going with Discord. There are different actions. You can create a channel, delete message, get message, send a message. So what we actually want is send a message, because we need it to be able to message me, to tell me what the output of the entire software. Now, let's use create a channel. Let's use create a channel instead of send a message, just for flexibility's sake. Let's use create a channel. So we put that and we connect it. So let's look at that. Our workflow is basically complete. Now this is where it gets kind of tough, because now we have to do the whole proper configuration process. But this is basically the workflow. This is everything you need for it to start, dynamically giving you responses and whatnot. So now, this is the next part. You need a bunch of credentials to actually this work, right? You need a Gmail API, which is, consider APIs as a passage between two rooms. In this case, our first room is our n8n application. The second room is our Gmail. The API is a passage that connects the two rooms together. Without it, they cannot communicate, they cannot talk, which means our n8n AI agents cannot get our emails from Gmail. So we need to configure our API and also ensure that it is working. We also need a calendar API. Google mandates, for security reasons, you need a OUTH 2.0 credential. Then you also need to add credentials of Google Calendar, Gmail credential, Gemini credential, as well as your Discord credential to, authenticate that, yes, it is you have access to do this, and, you're not impersonating yourself or something. So again, as usual, we have instructions down here for how you can do that yourself. There is the n8n documentation that guides you on how to create Google authentication clients. Inside there's also GPT guide, the ChatGPT guide. Then if you prefer watching video, there's a video here. The same thing for the Gemini API key and how to create Discord bots. So here's the thing, we are going to do this. The Discord bot creation, we'll do it here. The Google authentication creation, we're also going to do it here, but we will not be doing the API key creation because I already have one and I couldn't take it down because it will affect some other things that I have running on it. So we'll be doing this first two, the first and the third one, but not the middle one. But if you have any issues or whatnot, I have made sure you have both text and video to guide you through. And also you can always watch the replay back in order to get it right. So first of all, let's start editing each of our notes. Right? So this one, Google Calendar account. For now, we're going to leave this blank, but we can't do more. Sorry, Lekon. Okay. So for now, this requires your connection to the credential. Oh, it already saved it. Well, we'll come back to that. So we can't edit this until we have our credential. So let's go and start with that. So in order to get your Google credential, you need to go to your Google Cloud Console. So we can just type Google Cloud Console. I'm going to take it from the very beginning so it's easy for anybody to see. Now, if you already have an account, this is a good thing. If you don't have an account, it's a relatively easy step. You just sign in with your Google account the way you normally create accounts on all things. So by default, I have a project already. Now, you will have this in the instructions here. It's going to be written here that you need to create a project, right? That's one thing we're not going to do. Now, the reason why is when you are dealing with Google Cloud, you need to work in projects. Projects basically are the umbrella for whatever resources, keys, or credentials that you are creating. I already have one, learning AI agents. That is a project I have, so I do not need to create another project. But when you are doing this, you need to create a project. So the very first thing we are going to do inside here is, let's just go and follow our instructions, just so that everybody can see how the instructions work too. So when you come here, if you end up using the n8n, you see it's telling use setup custom OUTH. I also wrote that in the instructions. I wrote that in instructions. C setup custom OUTH, because the one that is before that does not really apply to you, right? So you start from here, and the same thing I just explained. You create a Google Cloud Console project, you enable API, you configure your authentication screen, and you finish your credential. So you log in, you create a new project, you make sure that project is selected, and then you begin with enabling APIs and services. So because my project is already created, I'm just going to skip this step and just directly go to this step, which is to enable APIs. So let's do that. So let's go down. We have APIs and services. Let's just let that load. Right. So you have different, Google gives, library for their different services they have. You have Maps, Cloud Vision, Google Calendar, Gmail. We could explore all this. YouTube is there too, but we actually just need these two. The Google Calendar API, so let's just open that in a new tab, and the Gmail API. Those are two things we need. So the first thing we need to do is enable them. I do believe that mine might be already enabled, but let's just confirm. If it's not, we'll enable it together. Oh, so it's already enabled. So you can see API enabled. Yours, if it's not enabled, you'll see enable. So you just click that, which means also the Gmail is also enabled. So that step is also done. So back to our instructions, and you can see some integrations require you request access from developers. Yours does not need to do that, so don't worry about it. So the next thing you need to do is you need your authentication consent. So if you come back here, you go back from API libraries, you go to authentication consent, and you will basically be either asked to, fill in a lot of information. You see, I have no client, so I'm just going to create a client for the first time. And this is a relatively simple process. So for application, we are going to select web application, because that's what we're looking at ours as. We do not need to add we don't need to change anything here except our name. Let's give it n8n client, right? And then for under authorized redirect URIs, we need to go and copy this from our AI n8n workspace. So it will give it to you. Mine is showing Google Calendar account. See it here. Redirect. So you just click to copy. And for our context, yours will be blank here. That's all. This will just be like blank, and that's normal. The reason why it is showing for me is because I've done this before, but yours will be blank, which is fine. So I'm still going to show you how to do it from the start. So we paste our redirect link there, and then we just create. So that creates our, so you have your client ID. So we're going to save this because we are going to definitely need it later. So we can just leave this here for now, and I'm just going to duplicate this tab so that I won't lose that. You can either copy it, save it somewhere, but I'm just going to duplicate the tab. So now the next thing we need to do, if you follow here, yours might be a little bit different. It should ask you for audience. By default, just select external. Internal would most likely be turned off for you if you're not a Google Space user, so don't worry about it. Put your email, ignore this, you don't need an authorized domain, and just save. So this was what we just did, this process. Create your own Google authentication client credentials. So that's what we just did. This is under branding. Let me just quickly show you that so you also can see it. So that's branding. Yeah, this is why I said I've done it already, so I don't need to do it again, but you would have to do it. So you have n8n, my email, and again, leave authorized domain blank, and just developer contact is also my email. So the next step we need to do is, let's go back to our configuration guide. I'm following configuration guide just so you can also follow along. So we have our model, but there's one thing we've not done. We need to add scopes. This doesn't state it here, but it's inside the ChatGPT documentation, and I also believe it's also, it's also inside PowerPoint, yes, that you need to add scopes, right? And also test users. So let me show you how to quickly do that. So inside here, we go to data access. Let's set that load. Now, this basically is like permissions. It is permissions. You add the permissions you want, whoever is accessing this to have access to. So you have different types of Google services listed here. You can see this is Gmail API, this is Calendar API. Luckily, we don't have to scroll too far. This is pretty much what we need. So these are the ones that we need. We need Google Gmail read only, which is here. View email messages and settings, so read only. Then for calendar, we need calendar, and then we need calendar.events. So let's just look for that right here. View and edit events or calendar. So with that, we can now, let's hide this, save. So that automatically gives you, permissions. So you can see these are sensitive, these are restricted. So I'll just save that. So now this is basically the entire setup from the Google Cloud Console side. So now back here, you can see it has been restricted to test users. Let's go and check out test user, because you need to add your own email, whatever email that you are using. Whatever email you are using to create your n8n is what you need to add here, so that you can easily, connect and have access. If not, you're going to have issues and errors that you have to start, troubleshooting. So you can see that user type is external. Because this is a testing app, you can see publishing status testing. We do not need to publish. We absolutely do not need to publish. For test users, please remember to add your email here, because Google will not allow you to access unless you add the email and say, okay, you are testing it. This is because this is not an actual live app. It's not on Play Store or anything. It's something you're just locally running on your system. So you have that. So now with that, let us go and finish our configuration for our n8n. So here, we're back here, Google Calendar. So you need to paste the client ID and the client secrets. Client ID is already there, client secrets are already there. Now this is the old one, so let's get the new ones. You can see our client's ID is here. Sorry, let's go back. And so paste that. And in your own site, when you are dealing with this, you have a sign in with Google, right? You need to sign in. But let's get our secrets first. Just a moment. Why is this not responding? Just a second, please. Let's find out what's going on. If you have a question, please feel free to ask. No one has a question. Okay. Okay, so let's try and sign in using Google. So I'll choose my own normal email. It's going to most likely bring up a prompt that says, yeah, Google hasn't verified this app. Because we're using this in testing mode, do not be alarmed. Just please click continue. And, what will you have access to? You click continue. Why did you do this? This is because the secret is wrong. This is the old secret. So we need to go and get our new secrets. Hold on, I need to stop sharing because just 1 second. Let me stop sharing because I think it's hanging. Right here. And now we're sharing. Okay. I think everybody can see my screen now. Yes? Please just give a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Okay, good. Everybody can see my screen. So this is our client's ID. Let's just open that. We need our secret, so we copy that, right? And then we go back. Select all, paste, and then we try sign in again. Choose our name. Continue. Select all. Continue. Connection successful. Yay! Okay, so we can quickly test this to make sure it's working. Now, this is why I said in order to configure this, you need access to the calendar, because now it will bring out all the calendars under my calendar. You see Muslim holidays, holidays in Nigeria, Cloudspan Academy, my family calendar, but I'm just going to go with my main calendar. I'm going to change this and leave it blank. to the error that I said usually happens. And then, you can test this to make sure it's working by just doing execute, and it will return, the answer if it's correct. But because we're on crunch time, we're just going to keep moving. So we've configured for calendar. Let's configure. Oh, there's one thing we need to do. We need to change the name of this particular node, because we'll need to call it later, and it will just be easier on us when the name is something we can easily call in a JSON string. So what we're going to change the name to is calendar events. And close that. So let's go to the next one, email. So now that we've done the credential stuff, we're just going to be very quick about it. Right, so we change this one to emails too, because we need to call that. So for this, it's the same, but we need to change the client ID and client's secrets. And then, let's go back. Change secrets first and change ID next. By the way, just on an offside, it is actually very dangerous for me to be sharing this on a call, but the reason why it's fine is because I'm going to delete this right after we finish. So just fair warning, we're not supposed to be showing our client ID and secrets anyhow. So sign in again, we're just running through. Continue. Yes, we want it to have access to the entire email. Continue. Connected successfully. Close this. We're good. So for this, let's set our parameters. Again, if you are looking for the parameters I'm using, it is inside the configuration file. You have messages, get many, limit is 50, and category unread. Do not return promotions, do not return social, just give me unread alone. And format resolve, I don't want anything that has attachments. So again, resource is get many, limit is 50, add filter. So I'm just going to put where is it? Okay, sorry. Label names and ID. Inbox. That's anything that just came in. And then read status as unread emails only. If I open it, I don't need to see it again. So I'm just going to close that. So that's emails. Now RSS feed. There are different types of different kinds of sites you can use. I have given examples of some you can use: BBC, TechCrunch, Business Day. I'm going to use Hacker News because they basically have a broad category and it's just easier for today. So that's all you really need to do for that one. You don't need to really do much configuration. We do need to change this to headlines because I intend to call this particular node in future that's referred to it. So I'm just going to change that to headlines. Then we'll close that. Now our code in JavaScript. This has to do with the calendar events. And basically we just need it to, because the calendar is currently pulling as many as 50 or 60 events from the calendar. It's not really doing the filter because of the issue that I said the stuff has. So we have to now do a small code. For context, I personally am not a JavaScript person. So, we have to code. I'm not a JavaScript person. I built this code with ChatGPT. So you are fine, I assure you. So let's look for, this is the code. We just copy that. You see, it's to filter today's calendar events. So you don't have to worry about it. So we're just going to replace line 2 to 6 with this. Right, And that's all. So we'll change this to code because we intend to call it later. And then close this. So for merge, we don't really need to do anything in merge because by default, it's doing what it's meant to do. It's just supposed to join together the 3 different inputs. So now code in JavaScript. Now this is to combine all our different outputs from the different places, from calendar, from Gmail, from the headlines into one single JSON format. So again, I'm not a code person. AI is your friend. So we'll just copy the code that we got or we generated. And we'll paste that inside here too. Right? So that's line 26. And we'll close that. So we'll leave that as code in JavaScript because we don't mind the name. Now let's come to our AI agent. So now this is where we need to configure exactly what we want to do. So by default, it says connected chat trigger node. That's whatever is coming into the AI agent. In this case, it is code in JavaScript should determine what it does. But that's not what you want. What we actually want is we'll tell you what to do. So we'll say define below. Now I've written this for you already. Prompt user message. This is this is similar to how when you go to ChatGPT, you type what you want. So this is what you are prompting right here. Sorry, I made a mistake. This is not what you're prompting. This is the response you want to get from the AI. That's the format you want to get. And I wrote that, specified that right here. So you have user message. It is written clearly, so please don't make a mistake. User message. So you can see there up there, user message. So just copy this. Basically, it tells it how I want it to show what it's telling me. Just tell me today's date. Tell me the calendar events, tell me the emails, last 24 hours unread, the news headlines, and then write the morning brief. So we're going to copy that and paste it in the workflow. We use define below and paste that. Right. So this is why I said we needed to change the names. You can see JSON.headlines is referring to that headlines. You can see emails is referring to that email, and calendar.events _ events is referring to that too. So why does it say 1? I'm coming, I need to fix that quickly. It's supposed to be just JavaScript, not JavaScript 1. Let's just tweak that quickly. Yeah, so we'll just remove the 1. Naming is important, especially if you are going to call it later. You can see. So naming is pretty important. That's why I just had to come and remove that 1. So we've set how we want this to respond to us. You can see that this is currently in gray because we've not executed the previous nodes already. If we had executed it, it would be in green and it would give us, what kind of information we are expecting in return. Now, what is the message we are telling it? So add options, system message. And this is, how you prompt your AI. So we don't need the you are a helpful assistant. What we actually need is, this is our prompt. You are a personal chief of staff. Your job is to write sharp, scannable morning brief for a breezy professional. So you have the entire structure and schedule here. Be concise. Don't give me filler. Keep everything under 2,000 characters. So copy that. And let's replace that. So that's pretty much it. Now, this is another part, our AI model. So we'll close this and then come to our AI model. Now, this is the part that I said that we would not do on this call because I already have a API account. Google API. So you can see it is actually even already connected. We're going to just retry to see if it's working. Yeah, it's working. But let me show you how that works. The instructions for creating that tool is also here, Google API creation guide. You just need to go to AI Studio. For those of you who were here yesterday, you probably remember this place. If you're new here, this is Google AI Studio. Google's basically playground for prompting, creating applications, whatnot. So you just, when you land here, just come right down here and click Get API Key. The instructions will explain further how you can, do this easily. But like I said, I have one already, which is this learning agents, and it's pretty easy. You just copy and go and paste. So we won't be doing that in this session because I already have one, but there is a YouTube tutorial right here for how to create one, as well as a guide for how to create one. So that is already there, and that's the post. Then we close this. Now, this is another part we need to do a little bit of work for. Our Discord bot. Let's open that. So we know, I don't know if anybody's familiar. I hope most people are familiar with Discord anyway. Discord is like Slack, if you're used to Slack, but it's more community focused. So you have gaming communities, developer communities. There's a lot of places. Crypto people are always there. So that's Discord. So you can create your own channel, create your own bots, and that is what we want to do. We want to create bots that will be giving us the response and dropping it for us. Now, where do we start? First, let's log into our Discord account. Like I said, it's pretty easy to just create a Discord account. It is not that hard. We need two types of Discord open. One, the main Discord account, separate, and then the second one is developer Discord account, which is this link, discord.com/developers.applications. Again, please refer here. Instructions are here, so everything is okay. Right, so this is the developer side, and this is the normal Discord side. Now, let's just quickly create our bot. So the very first thing you need to do in order to create our bots is we need to create a new application. So we're going to call this application Chief of Staff. Yeah. Yes, I agree. Create. Yes, I am a human being. Okay, good. So just for, let it look good, I'm going to add a logo. Oh, this is cute. So let's use this. Apply and save. So now this is the application ID, public key, blah, blah, blah. We need to move here, but because it's a bot we want to create. So we already have the icon, we already have the username. If you don't see this for some reason, you may see a add bot button at the top here. Click on it, then you'll see this. But if you just see this directly, you are still fine. So mine is just there, there's no problem. So I'm going to reset token because just it's something you need to do. Hold on. I need an authentication code from my phone. Okay, also, anybody has questions at this moment? No questions? Okay, so let's just answer them. Right, so we're going to copy this because we're going to need it later. Because this is going to be our n8n Discord credential. So you can only see it once. If you copy, let's quickly just save it somewhere to avoid stories that touch, because once you leave this place, to see it again, you have to reset it and get a new one. If you only see it once, you see, it can only be viewed once when created. So let's just keep that in that safe place. So next thing we're going to do is enable message content intent. We need it to be able to message, so we're going to turn that on. Save. We need to send messages. Sorry, not create public thread. Just a second. We need to send messages under bot permissions, and yeah, send messages is what we need to leave on. Then now we'll go to authenticate and under secrets. Here too, we'll check bot because it is a bot, and under bot permissions, we'll check send messages. For integration type, please leave it on guild by default. There's no need to actually change that, and then you just need to copy the URL at the bottom. This is why I said you need to paste this in a separate place, because you still need to copy this. So now we are going to create a new server because we need to put the bots in a server. So I'm just going to create a server for myself. Right? So this is my Discord account. We're going to quickly create a new server for me and my friends. Let's just call this XO7. You could customize it however you like, but in this case, I am just trying to just get the server up and running. So what we copied from here, we're going to open that in a new tab. And it's now going to ask me where I want to deploy the bot to. So I'll pick the server that I just created. You can see Chief of Staff wants to access your Discord. I click the server that I want to add it to, so continue. Authorize. Yes, I am a human being. Okay, so if we go back, we'll find that this has been added to our server. Chief of Staff just showed up. Yay! So in order to now connect, where are we? Here, we need to connect our ID so that the bot will be able to easily. We need a bot token. You say connect with this. We need a bot token, and we also need a channel ID. So first of all, to get the channel ID, you need developer mode enabled on your Discord. Mine is already enabled. However, if yours is not, that's if you are using Discord. Again, you can use Telegram. If you can always just either prompt ChatGPT or go online to find out how you can use Telegram. Telegram is much easier than using Discord, but I chose to use Discord for today. So you can just search here developer mode under advanced. Mine is turned on already. This is necessary because you need to get your channel ID. So that's done. Now let's go and get our credentials set up. So this is our bot token that we copied and pasted. Now let's, and then save. Connection successful. So the n8n now has access to the bot. So now we need our channel ID. So if we just click on this, I am definitely in the wrong place. I knew it from you, but I thought that was the wrong place. So let's go back. That's not what channel ID is. Channel ID. Why am I literally forgetting this stuff? Hold on. There we are. Okay, so let's first go back. Right click on channel, copy server ID. That didn't show up. Nothing showed up. Why? Copy server ID. I'm going to assume it's copied because it's not prompting that it copied, but let's go back and check. So the reason why you need the server ID is because here you have your bot token. We now say, okay, you are a Discord bot account that's under settings. For resource is message, not channel. We change that to message. We need to send. Operation is send, and then we choose the server. If you've done everything right, by default, it should bring up your server for you. So you have XO7, send to general, because that's the only channel in the server in any case. And then for our message, sorry. So if you were doing this for the first time, it would have prompted you to drop your channel ID, because this is the second time I'm doing it. It did not ask me for anything. So for the message, we need our JSON.output, which basically means whatever the output of this is what it should send to us. So basically, connection type bot send to this server. This is the message it should send. So now let's attempt to run our workflow. So if everything is correct, as you can see on this side, you have stuff turning green. Let's just shift this a bit. Now let's execute workflow. Right, so let's watch that run. It's kind of taking a moment. Or should we do it manually first? Let's do each one manually first for making everything run. So we run this calendar. Passport. Oh, it's still running. Execute workflow. So we have to let it run. But does anybody have any questions thus far? Please go ahead and ask. Yes, please go ahead, Mr. n8n. I'm going to reload this because I don't know what it is.
So what are we trying to achieve in this? I joined really late, I'm sorry. What are you trying to do?
Okay, so we are building an AI agent workflow that is kind of acting as a personal assistant to check your calendar, check your email, and check the headlines, and then let you know the information you need. Okay, so is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. So just let me zoom in so you guys can see. So you guys can see it's pulled 50 items from my calendar. Obviously, you can just click execute workflow, but I'm doing it manually just so that everything would run. So we can see that each segment is running before we now run it as a whole. So emails do take like a minute to do. So emails too is done. Oh, okay. So this is the mistake. I put 50 items. That's a lot. So let's limit it to just 10. Right? So we run that. It's going to take a little bit of time. But what I'm just trying to prove now is each node is running. So 10 items. the headlines, let's make sure that is also running. 30 items, so 30 headlines. So with that, now let's try and run the entire pipeline at a go. Let's see how that works. So execute workflow. Calendar is done. 50. Emails is still running. 10. Headlines is done. 30. It has merged into 41 items. Sent it as one item into the AI. The AI is thinking. Let's quickly go to Discord, by the way, because I wanted to see. So there's nothing in this. Bam! So you guys can see. Morning brief for March 29th. No meeting scheduled today. Email highlights. Daily seller summary. Security alert. DevOps class. And headlines worthy of, seeing. So one focus. I need to verify my account security alert immediately and address critical seller fulfillment issues. So we have been able to prove that this works. The entire workflow basically ran successfully, and we have our response. So now we have, a bot that every morning will come and just drop this for you. It will tell you what your brief is, your meetings, emails, headlines. So does anybody have any questions? Because we are kind of rounding down. And yes, please go ahead. Fine.
Yeah, so sorry again.
No problem.
The bots,
Yeah.
do you have to manage it yourself? Like, you go back to the previous screen. Let me show you.
The workflow, right?
Yeah. Do you have to come here every morning and press execute workflow for it to?
No.
Okay.
No. You can actually do a trigger.
Okay.
Hold on. Trigger. Manual trigger. Oh no, that's not manual. Sorry, hold on. Let me get the trigger for you. Action. Oh man, I'm getting lost. Sorry, just a second. Yeah, add another trigger. On schedule. That's what I'm looking for. So what on schedule does is you can set like a time. Like you can see, trigger at midnight, days between trigger. You can say, okay, just do it every single day and trigger at 7 a.m. by default. So if you add that, you connect it with your, like you take this out, you remove this, put this instead, and connect it. At 7 a.m. every day, the pipeline automatically runs by itself. The reason why we did not do a schedule trigger is because I didn't know the exact time that we finish building the workflow today. It could be at 7:28, 7:30. I wasn't sure of the exact time, so I just decided that it's better to do it on execute when I activate execute. But even in the documents that I provided, I did mention it that I hope that it is on schedule. You actually do it.
Okay, so where did you share these documents? I beg. I have not seen the files.
Let me share it again for anybody that just joined. This contains every single thing you need to use to build, this. Hold on, I'm sharing it again.
Will you share it on Slack or where?
No, it's right here in the chat.
Oh, right here in the chat. Okay.
Yes, so this is again, I'm just for the last time while we wind down. This is everything that is inside the drive for you guys. Is the workflow totally free or you need to pay for some? No, actually it is free. The only thing that I'd advise you to watch out for, I purposely did my best to ensure that this is free, right? The only thing I advise you to watch out for is this, your Gemini API key. Now here's what happens. Use either Gemini 1 point something. I even specified it here. Hold on. Let's quickly go down. Use either 1.5 or 2 point something. because those are free and readily available, and Gemini will not charge you as long as you are hitting below 1000 max token, right? So use 1.5, you can get those free by default. I am currently using 2.5, I believe, for this particular workflow, but it doesn't really make a difference. Yes, I'm using 2.5, but it doesn't really make a difference in terms of, because of the nature of like what we are trying to do. So you can see the options you can use. 2.0, 2.0 flash. You have 3. 3 is the latest model. Avoid that. It's expensive. Or like that. So use 2.0 and it is free. You are hosting this on your system. So the only issue that you may have is you may have to leave this particular stuff running. That's the local host. You may have to just leave it running in the background open. But automatically, if you use on trigger every day at a particular time you set, it will just run. It is not something that will cost you payment. So, any other questions, guys?
When you say leave it running in the background, is that forever and ever or something?
Technically, because your n8n at this moment is running locally on your system, right? If you want to, do it and forget about it, you won't have to leave it running on your system. Use the n8n cloud. They have, that option that you can do your workflows in their cloud. n8n has their own cloud this thing. But if you are doing it on your system locally, you'd have to just leave it running.
Is cloud paid for?
It's not paid for, but it has its limits.
Okay.
It's basically freemium. It's free until you need, so and so.
Okay.
Hope that answers your question.
Yeah, so I still have more questions if you are willing to.
There's no problem.
Okay. So
Go ahead, Max.
I'm struggling to see the use case of this n8n except from sending myself emails and headlines. Is there any real world usage? Can you use it to track malaria or something?
Okay, so as you did mention that you did come a little bit late, the first thing I said is this is a dumbed, simplified version. This is something that it is whatever you can think of that you can do with it. I want to see what you can do with it. This was just a simplified version to show you that this is possible. You can actually do this. I know people that would already say, okay, forget email, I don't need email. This is the kind of information I want it to pull. Examples of agents that are already like in use case are agents that do employee onboarding for companies. As soon as a new person is hired, the AI agent begins the entire onboarding process, creating emails for them, adding them to work groups, Teams, Slack, ordering devices for them, provisioning stuff for them, Another place that we use this type of AI agents is at even my place of work, where we have it do research about trending topics or trending information. Basically, it monitors social media algorithm to understand, the kind of how people are moving, what kind of aesthetics people are moving towards, and also advise us how to align our marketing strategy in order to ensure we are well positioned. Apart from that, other things you can do with it is not going to solve malaria for you. By the way, you mentioned solving malaria, but it's not solving malaria. But you can use it as an email triage agent, right? It can auto categorize your emails. You have content repurposing agents. I did mention that everybody gets access to these free resources, 200 ways to make money with, if you can make money with it anyway, and then business ideas and from Relay, which is content repurposing agent. You have business metrics monitor. You can create an agent that help you track KPIs from multiple sources and dropped in the slide is on the last page. It gives you 200 examples of things you can do with AI. So if you are having, brain freeze, you don't know how to use this to your own benefit, come here, look at it, pick something that works for you, or edit something and make it work for you. There are so many ways, things you can do with it: data entry, documents processing, assistant content creator on YouTube, video editing, dating apps, whatever it is. There are 200 different ideas to kickstart your brain here. Hope that answers your question. If I
Yeah. Thank you so much for answering.
No problem. Does anybody else have any questions? Nobody has questions? Okay. Thank you very, very much. I hope everybody has access to this. If there's anybody that doesn't have access, please stay. Let me just drop it one more time. Finally, once again, as Ali said, please remember to tag us. We would love to see what you could come up with, your own AI agents based on the little knowledge we've shared here. Tag me. Yes, there will be a link. I think. Okay, let me drop the link to our YouTube. Or Ali, are you dropping that? Okay, so let me drop the link to our YouTube.
I did posted it. Like we've not posted like any like we've not posted like this session, but we're gonna post it like soon. So like give us like till Monday. You'll find a video on our YouTube channel. And please go ahead and subscribe so that you get notified when we post it.
Yes. So once again, thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you were able to get something out of this, no matter how little or big it is. I hope you are able to think of different ways to do this. Please remember to tag us. I can't wait to see what you guys can come up with. Thank you very much for being here. And over to you, Ali.
Right. First of all, please, using the reactions, please let's appreciate Fatimah for that wonderful session, that loaded session. Because even me, like, I was gonna like simultaneously like work on like something else at the background, but then I just like the way she was doing everything just like reeled me in, and I couldn't like I had to like remain focused. And there's a lot of things that we discussed, right? And I think the really important thing to like really gain from here is that when like we have like all of these tools at our end, like our imaginations, like what you can do is like only limited by your imagination essentially. And I think Bukola also said the same thing yesterday, where like you just have to like imagine something and then just like do it because you have like the tools to do that. And you don't always have to like start from scratch to like do a lot of these things. In fact, like what Fatima just showed us, instead of sending it to like a Discord, you can use it to like create like an app idea instead and say, okay, this app will like will fetch you like headlines data like every morning, and then you have it like delivered to your email or your inbox. So like when it comes to like building with AI, I just want everyone to like know that it's limitless. Like what you can do is limitless, and if you aren't like really utilizing like a lot of the opportunities that like artificial intelligence is affording us in the 21st century, you might not be maximizing like the opportunities, like the chances, I would say. But then I think very importantly, I hope everyone here has picked up one or two things, and they now have like a clearer sense as to like how to get started with like with building with AI. And also thank you so much to like our facilitators. And also I also want to shout out like Google developer groups, University of Ibadan. Thanks for the partnership. Thanks to everyone that joined the session, and thanks to Usman as well for recording this. It's gonna like provide us with like the recorded session so that we can post on YouTube soon. But yeah, once again, please use the reactions to show an appreciation to the facilitators and the Zenith Africa organization. Remember, remember to follow us on social media platforms. It's Design IT Africa on YouTube, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and literally like everywhere. So follow us, engage with our content, and you can also visit our website at designitafrica.org. I'll put it in the chat. And if you've learned anything at all, please post on social media, tag us, and we'll be happy to engage and like reach out as well. So it has been a wonderful session. In the absence of any question, thank you once again, and I hope you all have a nice day and build amazing things in your respective careers. Bye bye. I'll end the call for everyone now.